I read somewhere, I can't recall at the moment, that your mother's sense of justice and her courage included standing up to the landowner, Holthoff?
Holthoff. Holthoff is German. We did when in sharecropping, it means just what the word says, share. For working the land and producing the crops, you got half. He got half for owning the land. And during the spring, beginning in March, you got an allowance for producing, with which to produce a crop. Each month you had a certain amount that you could get at the general store, seed and grain and even food with which to work a crop. At the end of the year, this time of year, first the man got half of what was produced. But then on top of that half, you had to pay that money you had or pay for that material you had received at the general store. Second place, you paid too much for that which you got at the general store. And the interest level was a level of usury in that time. So when you combine all three, at the end of the year, when it's checking up time, you didn't have anything. And the man would say to you, well, you didn't quite make it out of debt this time. We carried over to next year. Well, Mother was very meticulous. When we picked the last bale of cotton, she sent my brother into town to Mr. Holthoff's store to sell that bale of cotton, because it was the receipts of that bale of cotton Mother had planned to buy our school clothes. When he got into the store that Saturday, Mr. Holthoff said, you know, you can't sell the cotton because Lulabelle is not out of debt. My brother came back home and told Mother that Mr. Holthoff said he couldn't sell her. She couldn't sell the cotton because she owed some more money. Mother had just washed her hair. Didn't have any hair dryers in those days, and she had lots of hair. Mother wrapped her head in a towel and took off walking that 3 miles to town with her 8 children strung out behind her for a block. And that's what was known about Lulabelle in those days. Her brood always strung out behind her for a block wherever she went. And then she walked into the store, and the store was full. Saturdays when blacks went to town to do business and to have recreation. She walked into the store and she walked up to Mr. Holthoff and said, "What's this business about my owing you some more money?" He said, "You know, Lulabelle, you're not out of debt." She said, "I am out of debt." He said, "You're not out of debt." So that conversation went on, and it got pretty heated. And when the conversation got heated, blacks typically started to try to get her out of the store. "Come on, Lulabelle, let's get out of here before you get in trouble." And they were sincere about that. And but Mama wouldn't leave. She said, my boys work too hard. And nobody's going to take this bale of cotton. And I'm not going anywhere without my cotton." So after Mother wouldn't leave, all of the blacks got out of the store and left nobody in there but the Suttons and Mr. Holtuff and his staff. So they argued for a while. My mother even used a curse word. I've never heard a curse in my life. Never before and never since. I heard, because he said, "Lulabelle, are you calling me a liar?" My mama said, "Damn right you're lying. And I want my cotton." Then she told my older brothers, 2 older brothers, to go up the street and get Gus's wagon. His brother's name was Augustus. And I didn't know anything about Gus at that time. And I remember as I got older, the words she used and why she used them. She said, "Don't tell Gus what's wrong. I don't want him mixed up in this." She knew that a black man could get killed for doing what she was doing. I don't want, just tell him to send me in a wagon. They went and got the wagon. Mr. Holtuff said, "Don't bother that cotton." But what he didn't know was that if Lulabelle told her boys to throw that cotton on the wagon, it was going on there. That's the kind of family I came out of. So my older brothers threw that bale of cotton on the wagon, and we drove off. So that's how we got off the plantation. We moved into the little town itself and became day laborers instead of sharecroppers in that sense. That's the kind of woman Lulabelle